Today, we venture back into the lawless days of the Wild West where chaos reigned and only a few brave souls stood between peace and violence. Among them was Wyatt Earp, a man whose name has become legend. His life was filled with adventure, danger, and a relentless pursuit of justice, but who was the real Wyatt Earp? Was he truly the heroic lawman or something more complex? Let's journey through his life, from his humble beginnings to his final days. Wyatt Barry Stapp Earp was born on March 19, 1848, in Monmouth, Illinois. The fourth of 8 children, Wyatt's upbringing was anything but stable. His father, Nicholas Earp, moved the family frequently, chasing new opportunities across the frontier. From Illinois to Iowa, and eventually to the plains of Kansas, Wyatt grew up in a world shaped by hard work, resilience, and survival. By the time Wyatt was a teenager, the Civil War was tearing America apart. His older brothers fought, but Wyatt, too young to enlist, found himself tasked with maintaining the family farm. It was here in the quiet rural life that Wyatt developed his early values, the importance of loyalty, duty, and toughness. But this peace wouldn't last. As Wyatt matured, he became restless, seeking excitement beyond the farm life. By the late 1860s, the American West was rapidly expanding, and with it came opportunities, both legal and illegal. Wyatt initially sought out work as a teamster, driving wagons loaded with goods across the rugged frontier. But it wasn't long before his career took a sharp turn. In 1869, he found himself working as a local constable in Lamar, Missouri. It was here that Wyatt first donned a badge, but his early years as a lawman weren't without controversy. He would soon find himself on the wrong side of the law, arrested for horse theft in 1871. Though he escaped conviction, this moment foreshadowed the duality that would define Wyatt's life, a man who straddled the line between law and outlaw. By 1875, Wyatt's path led him to Dodge City, Kansas, a notorious boomtown where outlaws ran wild and gunfights were common. Dodge City was a place where the law was thin and danger lurked on every corner. Here, Wyatt's reputation as a fearless lawman truly began to take shape. He joined the Dodge City Police Department and quickly gained a reputation for being tough, fair, and, when necessary, ruthless. He didn't rely on his gun as much as his ability to talk men down, preferring peace over violence. But when Wyatt had to fight, he fought to win. On October 26, 1881, the infamous gunfight at the OK Corral forever cemented Wyatt Earp's place in history. Wyatt, along with his brothers Virgil and Morgan, and their close friend Doc Holliday, faced off against the Clanton and McLaury brothers in Tombstone, Arizona. The feud had been brewing for months, rooted in a clash between the Earps' vision of law and order and the Clantons' outlaw ways. That day, in just 30 seconds, nearly 30 shots were fired. When the smoke cleared, 3 men lay dead, and Wyatt Earp stood unscathed. The gunfight wasn't the largest or bloodiest of the time, but it became legendary because of what it represented: the final, desperate clash between the Old West's lawlessness and the new era of order. The OK Corral may have elevated Wyatt's status as a hero in the eyes of some, but it marked the beginning of a darker chapter in his life. In the months following the shootout, Wyatt's brothers became targets. Virgil was shot and severely wounded, and Morgan was killed in a brutal assassination. These losses changed Wyatt. Consumed by grief and anger, Wyatt set out on what became known as the Earp Vendetta Ride. He tracked down those he held responsible for his brother's fates, and in a series of violent confrontations, exacted his own form of justice. For the first time, the lawman became the avenger. By the late 1880s, the Wild West was changing. Railroads were connecting cities, and towns like Dodge and Tombstone were no longer the wild, lawless places they had once been. Wyatt Earp, too, moved on. He traveled the West, trying his hand at various ventures, mining, gambling, and even running saloons, but none of these brought him the success he sought. Yet through it all, Wyatt remained a figure of fascination. He married his lifelong companion, Josephine Marcus, and the two spent their final years in California, far from the dusty trails of the frontier. On January 13, 1929, at the age of 80, Wyatt Earp passed away quietly in Los Angeles, California. The man who had lived through gunfights, heartbreak, and the end of an era was gone, but his legend had only begun to grow. Wyatt Earp's life was filled with contradictions. He was both lawman and outlaw, hero and anti-hero. But what remains clear is his indomitable spirit and the way his story continues to captivate us today. Wyatt Earp wasn't just a man of the West, he was the West. The story of Wyatt Earp is more than just a tale of gunfights and justice. It's a reflection of the American frontier itself, a land of possibility, danger, and transformation. Earp's legacy has shaped how we view the Old West, a place where legends were born and heroes were forged in the fire of conflict. If you enjoyed this journey through history, please like and subscribe for more fascinating stories.